have Lamar Jackson, the running game is going to go up exponentially. Even if he's not his normal self, because of the threat of him being able to hold the backside linebacker and the backside, defensive end. But I do have concerns that they just don't have enough around him. I hope finally they go out and they really invest top dollar in a number one receiver, because we haven't seen the best of Lamar Jackson because I feel like they haven't surrounded him. Now, maybe that has a lot to do with, free agents don't want to come here because they don't want to be stalk blocking a lot during the game. But they have to go out and get his Stephon Diggs, his Jamar Chase, because that division is only going to get more and more competitive, especially now the fact that Deshaun Watson is going to have a full offseason to be acclimated within that division with that team.
They have tried. They've drafted receivers in the first round. They haven't, but it hasn't worked.
Drafting is different. Everybody else, they didn't draft the receiver for Josh Allen. They went out and got one.
Right. They used a first-round pick on a guy they knew was already good. What do you think about the Ravens?
Yeah, listen, I think that obviously Lamar Jackson coming back, I don't know if he's going to be the 100% version of himself.
Right.
But, it's still going to impose fear in defensive coordinators because just the threat of Lamar Jackson out there running. I think just looking long-term, though, with the Baltimore Ravens, just to echo Bart's point, I don't think you'll truly unlock Lamar Jackson until you get a threat on the outside. Someone outside the numbers. You got to be able to threaten every blade of grass on the field. Yeah. And when you look at Baltimore, so much of their game is between the numbers that if you don't have a legitimate guy on the outside, I think there's a certain limitation that you place on them offensively.
He has been injured late in the season each of the last 2 years. The big story from last offseason, would he get the contract extension? He did not. The dispute over guaranteed money. Mike T., you're in the front office. You're assessing this situation with Lamar going forward. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we got to keep him. He's a great dynamic player, and even if he's going to miss a handful of games every year, which we're seeing with every team now, I think there's about 12 teams in the league that have played the same quarterback. He's too good of a player. He's too dynamic. Obviously, as you mentioned, Dan, it's going to be about guaranteed money. There's that $230 million fully guaranteed contract for Deshaun Watson out there. Obviously, they weren't comfortable going there, but there's got to be some middle ground here. And the other part of this guy is there's a great – go ahead.
No, go on. I'm listening.
No, there's a great expression that applies here that not all injuries in the NFL are created equal.
Right.
And when you lose Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay, you're already at a position where you don't have a lot of depth. Those have been hugely consequential to them.
But I think Bart's point is, even with Bateman and Duvernay, they didn't really have what they need to really unlock the offense. I mean, do you think they need to go out and get somebody like a real
yeah,
stud,
absolutely. So conversation number one with Lamar Jackson is we got to get an extension done. By the way, 1A is we're going to take some of this other money and go get a receiver.
Oh, so here you go.
Absolutely. It's an allocation.
And you know what Lamar Jackson's going to say? He's going to say, okay, cut Marcus Peters and take his money and go get me a number one receiver because you've been spending all your equity and all your money on the defensive side of the ball. I'm the best player. Support me, not going out and getting Marcus Peters, Marcus Williams, and going out and getting all-star teams on defense. We need to score points, and you got to go out and get me a number one receiver. So cut that dude.
Yeah, my response is look at Tom Brady and all the money he left on the table, and they had a great team around him.
Look at this graphic of guys.
I ain't Tom Brady. I ain't had no rich wife.
Guys that did get paid this past offseason at the quarterback position. We'll get back to that in a second. But Lamar did not get the contract. But look at these five guys.
Not big return on investment.
Not exactly working out.
But Lamar Jackson is a MVP, and he was carrying his team again. So it's not like
Lamar Jackson's going to get paid and going to get paid top dollar. There's no disputing that he's too good of a player not to. And plus, everything is built around Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Again, he probably has the deal by now if he wasn't insisting on fully guaranteed money or they weren't insisting on not giving it to him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.